Howdy, folkses. Vile Mike here with Elihu so far. And
You're physically, not mentally.
Hello.
I'm assuming you joined just in time, so I'm not going to check to see if it's you.
Yeah, it's me.
All right, I was just telling Elihu that, yeah, I didn't do anything with the protest yesterday because we're not... Basically, when I was looking at the maps and I was looking for parking, there was like no parking anywhere nearby for like 2 to 3 miles.
Right.
From where the actual thing was.
And you were thinking, I'm not fucking walking 3 miles. Was that it? Or was it just like,
well, one, it would have just been me. Right. But I'm going to bring my kids. Mrs. Vile, definitely not going to bring her. And God damn it, my other cell phone's alarm is going off and I can't find it. Ooh. Usually it's right here.
Well, I was happy to see the good turnout for your No Kings protests.
Oh, yeah.
I imagine there was some supportive protests somewhere here, but I don't go to protests because if they go south and some things go wrong, I can get deported back to England. So,
yeah, well, there's some simple rules that are given for protesters. It's like if you're in a crowd and you're marching, or if you're stopping in an area and you see somebody doing violent attacks or vandalism, you're supposed to sit down, tell other people to stop and sit down with you. That way the cops know, okay, who's sitting down? They're not involved in this shit. It's a little message to the cops like, hey, we're not involved in this vandalism. We're doing our own thing. These people. Yeah, it's a little simple. It's one of the main reasons why we tell everybody when you're protesting.
Crowds either. Like I can't be around that many people. It's just too many people. So that's my other thing. But
I just can't walk in Stanford periods of time, so.
Well, no, I could walk all day. That's not a problem with me. The marching part, that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I did go for a long walk.
Well, the crowd was so thick here. The first person was at Civic Center, and the last person was at 18th and Mission. I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
I think the like a conservative estimate based on population statistics was at least 1% of the entire population of the United States was protesting yesterday.
Nice. Yeah. And a very small portion went to DC to watch the Lamo parade. I mean, no offense to your military, but it's not a military parade.
Well, no,
kind of like,
remember, they estimated 11,000 people showed up for Trump's parade.
Hold on. This was not Trump's parade. This was to celebrate the 250th birthday of the Army.
Sure.
And since the Marines and the Navy are also celebrating their 250th birthdays this year, I fully expect there to be additional parades later this year in October and in November, right?
Of course.
Yeah, but why do they sing happy birthday to him and then give him an American flag as a present?
Whatever. Anyway,
because it was the Army's birthday.
Yeah.
So
it was actually my niece's
he never not once said happy birthday Army. Not once during the speech.
Well, that's because he was falling asleep.
Well, yeah, I saw that footage too.
Let's go with
head bobs there, but whatever.
But I seriously, with everything that's been going on, I was talking with a friend of mine last night, and he basically pointed out to me that he believes that for the Democratic nomination for president in the next few years, it's definitely going to be Gavin Newsom now.
Well, he is definitely visually stepping up. So,
and you remember, I'm a Californian. Elihu's a Californian. Elihu, I think you're with me, right? You're not 100% a fan of Gavin Newsom, right?
I'm not. I mean,
I used to deal with him when he was mayor directly. There was some conflict we had. There was some agreements we had. There was this one huge shouting match we had one time.
I think to me, he's a little too much status quo, right? Like, I mean, definitely
Gavin
needs to happen. And I'm not entirely sure he's going to bring it about.
Gavin has changed a little bit.
He's definitely changed.
Yeah, when he was mayor, he was basically open to talk to everybody. Then when he got divorced, he's like, okay, he kind of shut in a little bit. So his personality does reflect his politics. Now that he's governor, he's a little bit more conservative of how and when he speaks in public. If you notice that, he doesn't go willy-nilly left and right. He's like,
he has been
I'll make a
stepping up a
statement.
lot more with like direct statements and quick responses and stuff like that, which at least he's doing something, right? Like,
Well, okay. One of the things that like, as Darren kind of points out, we're kind of leftists on this side, even though I'm an independent. But one of the things I have never liked about Gavin was his critiques of the oil industry. And the reason I want to bring that up is California produces about 10% of all gasoline and oil in the United States. It's nowhere near the 50% that Texas produces. But we also consume about 10% of the nation's oil and gas.
mm-hmm.
But what's kind of funny about it is most of the oil and gas produced in California is sent out of state, and so most of the stuff we consume, we buy from other states, essentially.
That's a lot like Canada. I mean, we produce a lot of oil, but we don't actually refine very much.
Keystone Pipeline.
Like I know most of the oil and gas that we use here in BC actually comes from like refineries down, I think, in Washington,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. But, I mean, that was like a decision that the different, the areas make, is whether they're going to produce it or refine it. Because, I mean, refineries is expensive. It does make sense to sort of have like, not have everybody try to refine their own, right? Because I mean that's like duplication of reasons. Like it duplicates a process that's expensive. So you don't.
They are closing. Sorry, they're closing down. They're closing down a refinery here because of several flare-ups and safety hazards in the past year and a half. They're finally closing the refinery down, which means gas prices are going to be going up some more.
Well, gas prices are also going to go up because of what's going on in Iran, but I'm going to digress.
Oh, goody.
When it comes,
incompetent person who has no idea what they're doing has triggered World War III. What a huge surprise.
Well, again, I want to still focus on Gavin right now because when he was attacking the oil and gas industry of California, all it did was hurt the oil and gas industry in California.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I am all for hybrid and electric vehicles. But like someone like me, I couldn't get one.
Yeah. Same.
Well, I rent a room in a mobile home park.
Yeah.
We only have space for 2 vehicles in our driveway.
Yeah.
We have 4 vehicles between the 3 of us.
Right.
There's no way we could.
I rent. I have no right to charge a vehicle.
Yeah.
The problem with electrical vehicles is the infrastructure. You need charging stations. That's what the problem is.
Well, and also they're really heavy, so they are likely to cause like faster deterioration of roads. There's certainly problems with them. Really, the ideal thing would be for fewer vehicles to be required in general.
So the way I'm looking at it, I don't like some of his policies because he was attacking the oil and gas industry just to score points with the hardcore left, green side of the left side.
Yep.
And I don't mind appealing to those people, but attacking a major industry of California is not the way to do it.
Yeah.
So when it came to Gavin Newsom on that, I didn't really like his policies. The most recent gas tax I'm also against, primarily because they didn't do any studies on the impact of people living here. They didn't. It's not something we voted on. If we voted on it, I would have less of a deal about it. Like I understand California has the highest gas in the country outside of Hawaii, but most of those taxes that we have on our gas, we voted for. So I accept that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
we have additional.
I'm going to agree with Darren right now.
Gases. Yeah.
When you highlighted the wrong comment. You highlighted the wrong comment, dude.
Why? Hold on. I'm saying I agree with Darren right here. Once it's at a stage that we can actually deal with it, I will be happy, once it's convenient enough.
Yeah.
That's why I prefer a hybrid over a full electric right now.
Yeah, I like some of the. I mean, and some of the Toyota hybrids.
There you go. Good boy. Good boy.
Hey, she's actually on her way because we're gonna go after. During the next live stream, we're gonna be going to get stuff ready for the. We're gonna go barbecue at the park for Father's Day.
Fun.
Enjoy. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
You crazy propagative individual. Spawning all over the place. Actually, no, they're not all yours. I mean, they're not all biologically yours. But
Yeah.
you're just their dad. That's good.
So
my landlord got more goats. I know it's off topic.
And I know when NB's been here, I've talked shit about Gavin as well. And I thought prior to what's going on the last week and a half or so, I don't think that he would have been a good Democratic nominee. I still kind of think he's not going to be a good Democratic nominee, but I also think that Trump basically just handed it to him on a platter.
Oh yeah, the more he pushes against California, who's like one of the major drivers of your entire economy, your national economy, it's ridiculous. I think also things about like all the stuff about eliminating FEMA. And then only Trump gets to decide who gets funding for disasters. Which is
Dandelion.
Ridiculous.
Dandelion, you are not on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it.
Well, I am theoretically. I just never go on there.
Yeah, well, if you haven't been hearing this, Gavin Newsom has been heavily trolling Trump.
Oh no, I've seen.
Okay.
It's here time for me up in Canada.
As soon as I saw my background change, I'm like, I know LDG's here.
Pickles.
Hello.
Morning, Pickles.
You know why it changed LDG, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Elihu, just a quick note. I won't be able to make Chris's thingy this evening. I don't know if he's going to have it on account of Father's Day or not, but I got a bunch of shit going on today. I don't think I'll be able to make fun game times this evening.
I was actually able to make it last week because I'm not working Sundays anymore.
Nice.
Well,
I think next week I'll definitely be able to make it. I just my friend that's been staying is moving into his place today, and he's also getting a puppy today, and so there's a bunch of running around that's going on. So.
Well, let's go ahead and go and talk about what's happening in Iran because Elihu was talking about it a little bit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
that makes me mad.
What makes it interesting for me is if you know your political history at all, then you'd know for like the last 20 or so years, Russia has basically been sending money and aid to Iran, basically to cause trouble. Now, a lot of that funding has dried up in the last couple of years because, there are issues with Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
But they're still funding a lot of Iran's efforts, which Iran was using to fund efforts to attack the United States.
Yeah.
And I can't help but be like, what's going to happen now if Russia still backs Iran? And United States is backing Israel.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. This is the kind of like unrest and disorder that happens when you don't have a strong United States. And I'm sorry, Darren, but right now you don't have a strong country. Trump is easily manipulated. He doesn't really know what he's doing because he hasn't spent, I don't know. He doesn't seem to be super curious about stuff. He's super easy to manipulate by people that kiss his ass. You may like him, you might like his policies or whatever, but he's not a good choice for leading your giant country when there's so much potential for unrest in the world. Like, honestly, as soon as I heard all these people like promoting him and, all the support he had, I was like, we're going to be fucking in World War III because of him, despite him saying we won't be in World War III because of me. but because he's so incompetent and kisses up to like dictators instead of, you know, at least being like cordial with like allies, and he just doesn't seem to understand the concept of allies versus the actual opponents of the country. Like if it can, you know, somebody can be your personal friend but not be a friend to your country, and I don't think he sees that distinction. I mean, he's taking this jet from Qatar and all this kind of stuff, and Qatar's been like funding Hamas.
Well, see, that's one of the things.
It's ridiculous.
That's one of the things I was bringing up Iran about, because Russia was funding Iran. Iran was funding Qatar or Qatar, however you want to.
Cutter.
Oh,
Qatar.
Darren, you poor sweet summer child.
And Qatar was supporting. What was the one that was attacking us down in the Houthis?
Al Qaeda.
Sorry,
I don't
Al Qaeda
remember.
or the Taliban? I forgot which one.
was it? I thought it was the Houthis as well, because I know they were Yemenis, but I thought Qatar was also funding the Houthis. Can someone fact check me on that one real quick?
Hang on a second. Let me put my glasses on. Okay, now what exactly am I looking up?
Was it basically what organization was Qatar funding? Was it the Houthis, the Taliban, or the Al Qaeda?
Okay, let's see. The Houthis, also called SLR. Let's see. Houthi funding has been linked to Iran, Hezbollah. Yeah, Hezbollah, Iran and Hezbollah. Oil and fuel smuggling, taxation, extortion. Terror organizations, some which have been sanctioned by the U.S. and UN for laundering Iranian aid or channeling illicit funds.
All right, so the Houthis were not being supported by Qatar.
No, they were being
Okay.
supported. Funding has been linked from Iran and Lebanon.
All right, so I was wrong right there, but I do know that they were supporting some of the groups that were very not American friendly.
Mm-hmm.
So I just found it kind of interesting. You know, when you follow the money, it basically went back to Russia.
Hang on, I need to say something to Darren real fast. Darren, that last comment you just put in the chat. If you don't like it and you have a hard time typing it, why don't you actually come up here and talk? Say your voice. If you think that we're hallucinating and delusional, defend yourself.
Hold on. I'm not going to fault Darren for not wanting to come up here.
I'm just asking him if he thinks we're all delusional. You don't want to. You say, hey, if that was not a sarcastic comment, come up here, dude.
Hold on, Elihu. He could easily see it as we just want to gang up on him and attack him. So I'm not going to blame him. I mean, the fact that he's actually in the chat alone is, you know, maybe we can, you know, convince him of the sincerity.
Isn't he the one who thinks the world is flat? I don't think you're going to convince him of anything. Sorry, Darren.
He says that, but I don't believe him.
But he has a point, though. It's not like the oceans are carbonated.
Wah, wah, wah.
I'm serious. I mean, if you want to take it, I give credit where credit's due. I mean,
oh, pickles.
Anywho, Darren's a big boy, and Darren knows how to hold his own. And Darren isn't as.
All I'm saying is he's not necessarily going to be swayed by evidence.
What are you trying to sway him on? Because I'm late here. But what are you guys talking about?
Oh no, I'm not. This stream is mostly just a vent about politics. LG, yeah, it's a way for us to.
No, I get that.
Get it off our chest, like
Darren.
Hold on. He's kind of right. This is kind of a therapy session. It's for us to vent about stuff that's going on, so we don't necessarily talk about it too much on the CNA stream. Now, I will admit that today's CNA stream will be slightly political because I just finished watching Daredevil Born Again, and holy crap,
Prescient?
The parallels were amazing.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it.
So, I liked it.
We'll wait for CNA for that.
So
I thought it was a little. They had to do certain things because of the humongous gap between the last season, but no, it wasn't that bad.
well, we'll talk about it more on the CNA stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of the stuff you have to watch the show Echo, I think, in order to know what was going on.
You know what?
With,
I didn't watch Echo yet.
Echo
I think I watched
really,
like the first episode.
Echo was really good, to be honest, and it tells you why Fisk kind of has seems to have a change of heart at the beginning of the show.
I know they obviously made allusions to it without going into too much detail, which was fine by me.
Yeah.
Now
we're talking about the thing we're supposed to talk about in the next show.
So
I probably can't make the next show for very long. Somebody else needs to use the
now. One of the things I will bring up, we'll skip Daredevil for next stream, but with this Iran Israel thing,
yeah.
Okay. On paper, we are an ally of Israel.
Yep.
And I do think that the United States should be supporting our allies under all circumstances, including Ukraine, personally.
Yeah.
But even if Israel is the aggressor in this current conflict, even though it goes back centuries, essentially, I do think that we should be supporting them. They are our allies.
I thought on paper. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say super quick that wasn't Netanyahu up for like some sort of vote of non-confidence this week? Like, I mean, it depends on his actual motivations for why he attacked, and I think should factor into it. And again, it's another person who's committed crimes and who's trying to avoid accountability by, doing some grand gesture, run for president to get out of paying for your crimes, attack another country so that your country's at war to like avoid accountability for your crimes. Like, I think it kind of falls. I mean, I understand that Iran is a threat and maybe they were justified, but the timing seems extremely convenient to me.
I was telling via Mike that I was watching this stream yesterday of these multi-cameras, and one of these little cameras said Iran alongside, right? Miss Longside. I'm like, okay, I thought somebody was just trying to play a little joke on there for views. Then I see these little fireballs and things start shooting up. I'm like, what is going on? A few minutes later, you hear sirens in Tel Aviv and missiles and defense going over. I'm like, wait a minute, somebody's actually live streaming the Iran missile launch site, and Israel's doing nothing about this? What is going on with Israel? I'm like, this is plain obvious. They can easily find out where the stream is and attack that site, but they're not doing shit.
It is entirely possible they know already at that location. They're just not specifically attacking it because of other factors that you're not aware of.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's the reason, but I was thinking, like, what is going on here? This is plain obvious. Is this a Geraldo Rivera moment?
Maybe.
It might be,
you guys
but
catch my
I saw you doing like a little Godzilla thing. What the hell was that about?
Did you guys catch
Gorilla.
my Bigfoot video?
Your gorilla video, yeah. What was that, dude?
That was my first experiment with the latest in AI video, text to video.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I said Godzilla thing and I meant Bigfoot. I don't know why the hell I said Godzilla.
It looks like a gorilla, not Bigfoot.
I got to work on it. It doesn't it looks like a gorilla, but it's supposed to be Bigfoot, but it's AI, so I'm working on it. But
okay, let me give you a hint. Let me give you a tip. Type in the word Sasquatch, but type it in phonetically.
Yeah, Sasquatch. I thought about that last night.
Phonetically. Type it in phonetically.
Yeah, phonetically, that's fine. But there's other things you can do too. Like you can ask for you can kind of say part Bigfoot, part something else, or part this, that, kind of hybrid it, you control. Because you can only do 8 seconds at a time. You can only make these videos 8 seconds at a time. So you got to be very clever to make it look like a full-length video, kind of. And each prompt matters, and each prompt doesn't know the previous prompt. So
you
you
got a
literally
shitty
have
AI.
to structure. No, it's not shitty. It's top. It's Google's
Are
latest
you using
freaking
Hugging?
GL3, man.
Dude,
But
go to
they're
Hugging
still
Faces,
they're
okay?
still
Go to
Hugging
Hugging
Faces.
Face.
Hugging Face is okay, but it's not as good as this right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're gonna release new features to it. It's still new, and some of the features cancels out some of the problems that we're experiencing right now. But for my first go and spending a week only on this, I think the video came out pretty well.
Are you
Anyway,
using InVideo? I
I
use
got
InVideo.
1,000 views on the short within an hour.
Hey, try
Just for the
something.
short.
Try InVideo.
This doesn't seem
hold
very
on.
political.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's update this chat for the CNA stream,
Oh.
because I think you guys could help
Sorry.
me out on some
It's very
future videos.
political. Free the net is very political. It's going to change the freaking outscape of the entire politics. Like, for God's sakes, I'm creating a new party. For God's sakes.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It still sounds like gibberish to me.
Yay!
Okay,
Brand new
we'll get there.
hellscapes for all.
We'll get there.
I'm gonna. What hellscapes for all are you talking about?
The general ones we're living in.
Calgon, take me away.
Well, because people keep saying everything's a hellscape, but what I'm looking
No,
at now is
I
not
know,
definitely a hellscape.
I know,
I'm sitting at a park in the shade.
Yeah, it's pretty delightful here too. I have to admit, that's true.
Let's see. Hold on.
It's okay downtown, but I'm still afraid to go to the Mission District because ISIS has been snatching people just because of what they look like.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, so can I question about Iran thing?
Yeah, you
Go
had
ahead.
a comment about it.
Is Iran putting because they know they got the Iron Dome shit? Is Iran putting nuclear material in the missiles so when they get blown up over Israel, they drop to the ground and start irradiating everything?
Not that we know of.
I thought I heard something about.
I don't believe they have nuclear material yet.
That's been hearsay.
I heard they did.
It's been hearsay that they do, and some people say they don't. And some people say they have bombs, and people say they don't.
Have enriched uranium. That's the only thing that you need is enriched uranium. Well, you put it in there.
You need enough. Hold on. You need enough to be fissible. The amounts that they're working with.
Make sure it drops. You put a few drops in the local water supply. Make sure it blows up over a lake or freshwater source, or even in.
I don't think it's that. Like, you probably already have more like radioactive material in the water than that would create. Like,
oh, I don't think that's true. I don't think they're drinking radioactive water.
Well, technically, we all are ever since the first nuclear explosion. That's why, like shipwrecks that contain certain iron are valuable because they are not contaminated by nuclear fallout from the nuclear tests we did in the 1950s.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, there's like nuclear, like radioactive material all over the place. There's always a level of background radiation, and I don't think that the amount that they theoretically and potentially have would be enough. It doesn't work that way, I think, is basically what it comes down to.
Yeah, everywhere has background radiation.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking that they do because we know they got enriched plutonium that is only for
uranium, not plutonium.
Plutonium, uranium, whatever.
But
is enriched enough for use in nuclear bombs. So if it's enriched enough for nuclear bombs, that's not your average. Oh, this water has more radioactivity. No, that's pretty damn radioactive.
Well, remember, it also depends on which particle is being emitted. Will be how dangerous it actually is. Like the stuff that'll be damaging to you if you stand near it is fairly safe to actually ingest, but the stuff that is blocked by your skin is very deadly to ingest.
The Nuclear Regulatory Commission does not know the estimated yield if Iran actually has potential nuclear weapons. They have an estimated between 20 and 50 kilotons, although the United States has 10 megatons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so nobody knows exactly what they have, what they're capable of. Some people say yes, they do. Some people say they don't. But there's been no confirmation of what Iran has. Yes, there's been
And
confirmation
remember,
of what Russia has, but not Iran.
And remember, you can't just like build, or enrich enough uranium to make a single bomb and then be set for the rest of the, the lifetime of the bomb. Those bombs need to be maintained in order to keep them fissible. You can't, they are still radioactive, so they're essentially becoming less and less potent as time goes on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just like, it's like a rubber band gun. The ammunition for the rubber band gun, if you got it set in the gun at all times, those rubber bands will start to crack and they'll start to stretch and they'll start to become less,
They deteriorate.
hurtful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Until eventually they'll just pop right on the elastic band gun and probably get you instead of wherever you were hoping to shoot at.
Yeah, it's not like a plastic explosive that is shelf stable for, decades.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just
So-
glad there's no nuclear bomb been dropped yet, so that's good. But that firestorm I saw yesterday, that was like pretty crazy. All the missiles,
Yeah,
all those bright
I was
lights in the
watching
sky.
that.
There was like
Yeah.
30 of them. It was crazy. And then one guy is filming it, right? And he's filming it from like his apartment or something over there. And he's like, fuck me. Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. When you see that many missiles coming down and you can see them coming down no matter where they're going. Yeah, fuck me. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Iran has been targeting civilian areas, not military, in that last attack.
If someone were to launch a missile at Disney World, I would be able to see that missile coming from the sky from my house. You know what I mean? Like Disney's like 10 miles away, but I would still be able to see that rocket coming down to hit it.
Dude, Orlando's safe. If anybody's going to attack Florida, it'd be the port of Miami, okay? Orlando's
Well, I think
safe.
that's the one thing. I think that's the one thing that Florida is safe about is because Florida isn't America. Florida is like the entire world. Like if you were to bomb
America's
Florida,
wang.
you would piss off so many countries because so many countries are visiting Florida. You know what I mean? It's a tourist spot. So you attack Florida, you basically attack everybody who's visiting Florida. So
Just like New York, just like San Francisco.
Can't disagree with that one.
Yeah.
And I mean, also the fallout spreads, right? So you most particularly don't want to attack people to your west because the fallout's coming straight back at you. It's like pissing into the wind in a sense.
Well, there's also the fact that's one of the reasons why a lot of countries wanted to develop more of the neutron bomb as opposed to full-on nuclear weapons.
Right.
Because the neutron bomb, will keep the infrastructure safe for the most part while irradiating the population. And the radiation that is released tends to dissipate in the environment fairly quickly.
Yeah.
And by fairly quickly, I mean like 20 to 25 years, 50 years around that time period.
I mean, even like the Chernobyl disaster, like the amount of wildlife that like is proliferating in that area is incredible.
Yeah. And basically Darren's right when it comes to that. They want to be able to control the, the religious sides.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I like to apologize for my dishwasher. It's being noisy next to me.
I can barely hear it.
Okay.
I can hear the birds around here a lot louder than your dishwasher.
Yeah, I can't hear anything.
I can hear the chickens too. But I fed them, so they're not as noisy now.
So, what else do you guys want to talk about? Because I've made my points, I think, so far.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
I just read online. I just read online that police arrested somebody for refusing to take off the mask.
Well, we could go into the arrests a lot. I mean, LDG, were they doing the same thing in Florida as they were doing here when they were talking about sending ICE into Disneyland?
Oh, I've never heard anything about ICE in Florida.
Oh,
shit.
I've seen a lot of videos of ICE in Florida.
Oh, yeah, ICE is all over Florida.
Oh, yeah.
What, like right now, or you mean like in a general sense? Like it's.
I'm talking about in the last few months or last few weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah, I don't think we have too much of a problem with like Florida's pretty safe. First of all, we're not connected to the border. Second of all, like
DeSantis
so
is
there
crazy.
is-
You're
Is
90
it-
miles from
There
Cuba.
is illegal immigration. If I drive every morning, if I wake up at like 6, 7 a.m., whatever, and I drive to Home Depot, yeah, there's a curve next to Home Depot where I can see a bunch of people just sitting there because they know some truck's gonna, come around and hire them to do some work. I don't know if they're illegal or not. They could be homeless. But it's not like you see it rampant. It's not like every street you see like.
Well, and a
I
lot of
don't
people
know.
have like protective status, or they're like waiting for their court dates and things like that. So they do have like a level of status, but they don't have like, I mean, it's the same thing here. When you first arrive, you're not allowed to work, right? When you
Yeah.
first come here, you can't legally work. Even
It's
though
one of
you
the things that would make it really hard for
You
Mrs.
do have-
Vile to immigrate here if she ever wanted to.
yeah,
Is
like you have a
quite
level of
literally
status,
she has to be like non-working for at least a year,
which
and
is
there's no way
crazy.
I can support her without
Mhm.
her working for an entire freaking year.
Yeah. Yeah. So like that's what makes it difficult, right? Because people will have like a level of status that are in the process of doing things legally. And but because of the way the regulations work, right? Like people can come here on like work permits. Like I have loads of people where I work that are
Yes,
here from
but
Mexico.
but most of those work permits do not allow you to actually pursue citizenship while you're on a work permit.
We do have a few that do allow that. Like it's
Maybe in Canada, but in the US, very
we-
few of them are.
a lot well, that was the whole thing. Like a lot of people would come here just on temporary permits, but then then they would decide, well, maybe I want to emigrate here, and usually they have to go back to their country of origin in order to complete the process. But most of the people who are here from Mexico don't want to like come to Canada permanently. All they want to do is, even here in BC where it's not cold in the winter, it's colder than they want to be in the winter.
Mhm.
And they want to, their families are all there. They're just here to they come, they work their asses off for up to 9 months or whatever. And then once it starts getting a little too frosty in the mornings, they book a flight and just head straight back home.
There was a TikToker that I was watching some of his videos because he was admitting on his videos that he's technically here illegally, or he's undocumented. Not,
Right.
I wouldn't say illegally because he is a DACA recipient,
Right.
but he's been trying to become a citizen for since he turned 18. So for 7 years, he's basically been trying to become a citizen, but because he's a DACA recipient, he has no port of entry.
Yeah.
So in order for everything to happen, he has to go back to his original country, which won't accept him because he hasn't lived there for,
And no doubt he has no passport.
Yeah, he has no passport. He has,
so difficult to we make it too difficult to negotiate this stuff.
And the thing is, he's married to an American. He has, his wife is currently pregnant. He has 2 kids already. And it's like, because he's a DACA recipient, he is not eligible for getting a green card through marriage.
Mm.
So he can't even do that. He's also a small business owner. And because he's a DACA recipient, he does have a social security number. It was one of the things that was given to him for that. So he, does pay taxes, but it allows him to own his own business. And by own his own business, I mean he owns like 3 or 4 properties that he rents out.
In order to file tax, you need a social security number, and that's why they give you a social security number, so you can pay your taxes.
Exactly. They like the taxes.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did
People
you
should
get
be
that thumbnail?
upset.
Say that again?
Where the fuck did you get that thumbnail? What is that? Like, is that what the?
That's Trump fucking himself.
That's 2 tacos. What?
What are you?
It's fucking tacos.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay, sorry. That just hit me on the side of the head. Fucking tacos. Okay.
This from the guy who was talking about
Okay.
fizzy oceans.
Yeah. It shocked me. So my logic kind of shut off. I missed the obvious. fucking tacos.
If it helps, Mrs. Vile sent that to me.
I was thinking tacos that are fucking. Sorry. Go ahead.
Mrs. Vile sent that to me, and I'm like, I got to use this one.
Tacos.
That's not a real. That's not a real taco, by the way. That's Tex-Mex.
Thank you, Andrew. Thanks, Mr. Obvious.
But I mean, we really do need comprehensive immigration reform.
Yeah.
And I mean, just as somebody who is, dating somebody who is not a U.S. citizen, who, if she were to ever come here, it would just be, it would take forever for her to actually become a U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
You have to pay several $1,000s, take a test, or $5 million. Here's a gold card. Come on in.
Yeah, I'm sure Kyle's going to get right on that.
Yeah, if you have $5 million, you can bypass all that shit. You get a gold card and just come right on in, dude.
Let's see. I think I make around $60,000 a year between my job and my business. So if I were to, put every penny into savings,
that's about
it would only take
20
50
years
or so years for me to get 5 million.
Well, 19 and a half with a down payment, so that's about 1.3.
Well, at least we live close to the border.
About 64, 65 years, dude. If I'm doing my math in my head correctly.
At war with Mexico, so you should still be able to travel back and forth. For now.
Let's see. Hold on.
For now.
Yeah. All right, guys. I have to make pizza dough because I'm going to have pizza tonight, so I got to make the dough this morning.
All right. Sorry. To get $5 million at $60,000 a year would take me 83 years.
Oh, good.
83.
Good.
Sorry,
I mean, if you have it, invested in market, it'd probably be a little quicker because you could reinvest.
Damn, we made it too.
But again, that's if I were able to put all $60,000 towards it.
Well, come on. What do you need to live on? I'm sure there's I don't know, dumpsters you could dive or some shit. Besides, aren't your children almost grown? You could make them support you.
There are soup kitchens.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the 4 kids will end up becoming rich and famous.
Maybe. Well, you have several of them, so the odds may ever be in your favor that one of them becomes, rich at least and successful and willing to support their dear old da.
Maybe I should keep better tabs on all the sperm donations I've done. Maybe one of them is also rich, and will be rich, and I can say, hey, you wouldn't be here if it weren't for me. So can you lend me $5 million?
Oh, damn.
Except,
Mike,
hey, hold on. Except for what? 1, 2, 3. I think at least half of them, I have a legal document that I had to sign saying I wouldn't do that. So
right.
I'd be in breach of contract if I did that anyway.
Mike, if one of your kids gets 1 million views every couple of days, then you can start thinking about retirement, okay?
All right, guys. I think I'm gonna boogie. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'll try and make it to the next stream for at least a little bit, but because I gotta need pizza dough as I don't have a stand mixer and all the recipes use stand mixers, so that means I'm gonna have to knead the dough for a while.
Are you lazy? Are you the kind of lazy person that uses a rice cooker as well?
What?
Never mind.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
No,
I think someone used a rice cooker on
my
Eli.
pizza dough. Why would I?
No. Because you said you use a machine for the pizza dough. I'm like, are you kind of the people that use a rice cooker instead of doing it yourself?
No, I don't have room for kitchen appliances.
How are you? Do you not understand that most countries that consume a lot of rice use rice cookers?
Yeah, I don't actually consume that much rice. I just boil rice when I need rice, and then I'll freeze it usually, actually, because I usually make too much. But no, I don't have room for kitchen appliances other than a toaster oven and a microwave. Everything else.
I'll say this real quick before I end the stream, but a friend of mine went to Japan 5 or 6 years ago, and one of the things that amazed him is everyone's house that he went to, the rice cooker was their primary way of cooking food.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Oh, yeah, and that's why they're so skinny and healthy.
I just boil it.
Yeah, but a lot of them don't have gas coming into their homes. They have electricity,
Electric.
but not gas.
You know what I like about
So-
rice though? Rice is anti-woke because everybody says that brown rice is healthier, but it actually isn't. White rice is better.
All right,
Well,
so
enriched rice is better,
rice better.
and most
I-
enriched rice.
anything, anything enriched.
Otherwise, there's bleach.
All right, so I'm
You
gonna
enrich
go ahead and end the
something.
stream. I'll see you guys on the CNA stream in about 15 minutes.
Sounds
Oh, we're
good.
done already? Shit. Okay.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
was
All right.
only,
Yeah,
this is
that's
only a
okay.
short one to
Yeah.
vent about political shit, and then we go.
I wanted
the
to
other
talk
stream.
more about freaking the riots, but did you guys already cover the riots?
What? Well, there wasn't really any riots.
That's what I was going to ask. Are the riots done, or are they still going on? Or are they just taking
No,
a
the
break?
protests are going on, but only it was actually one of the things that someone else pointed out on one of their streams that sources on the left keep calling them protests, sources on the right keep calling them riots.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it was shown on live television. The reporter was reporting, it's like, see, we have peaceful protests over here, and all of a sudden the cops started firing on the protesters. Like, the cops are doing this, cops are doing this. Yeah,
Apparently
the
they've
cops are
been
starting the
recycling-
violence.
Apparently, they've been recycling some footage from the Black Lives Matter protests a couple of years ago. If you check with Snopes,
Yeah,
they've been,
Gavin's been calling them
fact-checking
out.
some of the images
One-
and stuff.
Heck, one of the ones I saw was actually reused footage from the Rodney King riots.
Oh, good, even better. That I'm
So-
sure that was looked really like.
Yeah.
And what
Correct.
gave it away was in the bottom corner, you kept seeing this thing jump up and down a couple of frames. And it was just because the footage was so bad back then.
Uh-huh.
And when it popped back up, you could actually see the date. That's what was bouncing up and down. They were trying to crop it out, but apparently, because the footage was so bad, it bounced up just high enough that you could make out 1993 on it.
Well, that and the outfits would definitely look a little dated. I'm sure it would look dated. I think, like just the
Yeah.
footage.
To clarify, LDG, Los Angeles is not burning down. It's only a 10-block square radius that had the curfew. Okay.
Yeah.
At
All
about
right.
2.3 million square miles, 10
But I'm
blocks.
gonna end the stream. Okay, LDG, if you want to talk
All right,
about
guys.
this more, we can bring it up on not the CNA stream, but if I do another community offensive
That's fine.
stream, we can do it there.
All right,
Sounds
catch
good.
you guys. See you
Later,
then.
guys.
Bye.
Later.